presented by Sholo Ford. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Honda Speed Outdoor Sport, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Little Bluebird Studios. And now, local sports on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com, presented by Sholo Ford.
Very good evening here from Snowflake High School, where the Lobos are playing host to the Yellowjackets from Blue Ridge. Jackets come in with a 15-11 record, number 10 in the most recent power rankings, where Snowflake, a very impressive 25-3, but number 5 in the most recent power rankings. I'm Derek Palmer here, getting ready to describe the action for you. As this is a couple of volleyball clubs here that are coming up, trending in the right direction. Blue Ridge has won 4 straight. Its only loss in its last 8 contests was at the American Leadership Academy Gilbert North campus. Snowflake, meanwhile, has won 10 straight. It has only yielded 1 set in its over the last 6. So they've been fairly dominant, have the Lobos, and they're looking to hold serve here on the home floor and get ready to try to notch win number 26. Blue Ridge, meanwhile, trying to continue to trend in that proper direction as it gets ready for the winding down part of the season. It's going to be Snowflake and Blue Ridge here starting up.
We'd like to welcome you tonight to Volleyball.
Well, we're getting ready here for the national anthem.
As our volleyball sings the national
Okay, so let's do the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a... Nope. All right, we're going to cut over to the national anthem. Keys to the game brought to you by Ace Hardware. This has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware. Your help replaced for 3 locations in Pine Top, Overgard, and Sholo. Beginning looking over at the Blue Ridge side, where Ellie Burgess is a senior captain who's got 329 kills, 37 kill percentage to go 29 aces and 27 blocks. Moving along through the Blue Ridge side is Kiera Smith. She's also a senior and a captain, 159 kills, 44 percentage with those, and 77 total blocks. As we switch the sides over to the Snowflake Lobos, where Macy Papa is an outside hitter. She is good for 172 kills, 36% of those to go with 33 aces and 199 digs. And then finally, Megan Olsen's an outside hitter. She's got 188 kills, almost 40%, and 18 aces with 134 digs. That's the Ace Hardware key players of the game. Next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week. Call Ace Hardware. Your help replaced for 3 locations in Pine Top, Overgard, and Sholo. The Summit Regional Healthcare Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get into the game, and there are no injuries to report. So that is the Summit Regional Healthcare Medical Center injury report. It's got everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Getting ready to start this up here as Snowflake, again, defending its own floor with a 25-3 record, number 5 in the most recent power rankings, as the Lobos run up to the net wearing white tops with blue shorts to shake hands with the Yellowjackets, who are wearing black on black. And again, Blue Ridge 15-11, number 10 in the most recent power rankings. They had split here with the freshman and JV teams. So, not just trying to pad stats and standings. Yeah, this is going to decide all the marbles for Snowflake and Blue Ridge volleyball programs, having split over the first 2. Blue Ridge is going to be serving as it sends Amanda Carlson back and angling to the left as the Lobos wait and approach. And now coming in, Tegan Mink will be donning the libero wear as the serve is away. And back on the return for Snowflake as it's hit over by Macy Papa. She's able to find some space and get the Lobos on the board first.
Well, right away, Macy Papa establishing herself on that outside, and the Yellowjackets are going to have to do a better job of closing off the block tonight if they want to, in effect, take her off the net.
Macy Penrod now serving for the first time for the Lobos with that 1-0 lead. As she has it sent right back to her, Kiera Smith.
Kiera Smith, nice little hit, goes cross court there on that little Z pattern to the back set, and that's a tough set to make, and Audie makes it look very nice.
Mink now with it tied up at 1 as it's again set up with Papa. She is denied at the net, and here comes Blue Ridge with the return as it's set over by Burgess, but again, Snowflake has players in the neighborhood. Papa can't get it into space as it's now going to set up back to the right side, and Papa again, but there are Yellow Jackets waiting. Coming back over with Burgess, who's able to touch it down going to the right.
Great dig that time by Carlson. That all starts with the perfect pass. He was a little tight with the pass, but a good dig, and it gave Ellie Burgess a shot at getting a little tip.
2-1 Blue Ridge with its first lead here in the very early going. As going down to get it that time was Butler. That again sets up Burgess now. Back over with the Lobos as Papa punches it back to her right and is able to again get it just past the diving Burgess. So tie it up at 2 here in the first as Papa approaches and sends this one to Smith, which is sent back as it's set up for Carlson. But it's defended well by Snowflake, but then on the return, it's sent wide.
So we'll see this a lot from the Yellowjackets. They like to set their outside hitters in from the back row, and they can hit and attack as long as they hit from the behind that 10-foot line. And Carlson doing a good job right there.
A little bit of a miscommunication, but Blue Ridge recovers. Trying to go back to the far side where it was going to be Olsen, who was able to again just touch it down. Seems like a little bit of a contrast in styles here. The Yellow Jackets really tried to come with the oomph, but Snowflake finding some success just gently guiding it over the net.
Well, Snowflake has got some good hitters, but they don't have the size that the Yellow Jackets have up front. And so you'll see a little bit more finesse out of the Snowflake players.
Tied up at 3 as there's another one where it was going to be just put beyond the reach from Smith as she went diving after it, but there's some more of that finesse from the Lobos.
So this has been a problem for the Yellow Jackets a little bit this season where they've not been able to cover those tips as well as they would like to.
This one off the net and saved nicely by Burgess. Coming back over as this one is again a little errant, and then is going to be trying to set up towards Smith, but falls right in front. As it's now 5-3, Snowflake has scored the last 3.
I'll tell you, Snowflake very good at serving. They're one of the top serving teams in the 3A conference. You look at their percentages, and almost all of their servers are in the 90s, mid-90s and above, and they've got some really good serves. And the Jackets have struggled with their passing, and so this is a good opportunity to see where they are here before playoffs.
Trying to come back to the near side where Burgess gets that one over, but there's Lobos there waiting in defense. This one toward the end line where it comes back up to the net, and again Burgess is met at the net, and that one knocked away and off of her and out of bounds after I couldn't see who was there on the denial, but I think it was Caldwell. Caldwell's been now responsible for the last 5 points. She is back again and serving, leading 7-3. This one going to the right side, trying to get to the Lobos with one of their own touches, but it's defended, now met at the net. And denying that one was Cheyenne Higgins.
That's going to be a net violation. They had Reagan Olsen in the net. She got a little too close to the net that time when she took her swing.
So serve back over to Blue Ridge for the first time in a while, trailing now 7-4. As Burgess sends this one right in front of a diving Papa, she can't get to it, and it narrows the gap now to just 2. 7-5 with Snowflake in front, but the Yellow Jackets serving.
Ellie Burgess is one of the top servers on this Yellow Jacket team, and we saw a great example of that right there.
Again on the approach, sending this one to the right side and has this one just inside the end line for the ace. That was well placed.
Absolutely, and that's a tough one to judge if you're a player back there defensively. That ball just dives at the last minute and catches the line.
Snowflake with Papa and Penrod back there. This one is going to be sent back after Papa gets one of the touches. Now here come the Yellowjackets with Burgess going over and sending this one straight up to Whitney, who is able to spike it down into some space to get the serve back for the Lobos, who now lead 8-6.
Nice job up front by the Lobos there to get that spike, but the Yellowjackets have got to do a better job of pressing across the net to make sure that that block happens.
Savannah Johnson and Ellie Lundberg just check in for Snowflake, as this one is going to be caromed off of Penrod. Give the point to the Yellowjackets, who now just trail by 1.
That was a great kill that time by Cheyenne Higgins. And Higgins, this is one of the young players on this team that has been a bright spot for them. She played a little bit last year, and she's taken a starting role this year, but that's been a problem. And she struggled a little bit with her serve. And in games like this, where every point counts, you've got to make sure you get those serves in.
Well, she's replaced now by Tegan Mink, as Snowflake leads 9-7. This one was Smith at the net, but it's well defended by the Lobos. Now Papa is met by 2 Yellowjackets, but Snowflake able to recover. Set it back up for her again, and she has this one off the top of the net and eventually onto the ground.
Nice job by Carlson. Carlson got down and pancaked that one, got it up. You saw Mink come over. She couldn't quite get the angle on it to get it up, and so it was a tremendous effort, though. Nice job by Amanda Carlson to dive in there and just get that one up off the floor.
Here's Olsen with the serve for the Lobos, leading 10-7. Again, going back to the right side, actually going to settle for the center where Whitney has this one now coming toward the sideline where it's sent over the net and set up again, this time angling to the far side, and Papa off the ceiling as it's recovered and sent back over by Carlson. Rally continuing here as this one's deflected. Going to come back over to Carlson, who has this one sent back nearly. And that was the third touch.
Double hit.
A double hit.
Double touch on that set. And so that's going to be an unfortunate error for Snowflake, and it's allowing Blue Ridge to kind of hang around here now to within 2 points.
Going back for the serve is Anna Burgess. Here it comes now. Burgess is going to have this one. Ellie Burgess again in front of one of the diving Lobos.
That's what we talked about right there, Derek. That's your back row attack. Ellie Burgess can attack from pretty much anywhere on the floor. One of the top hitters in the state, and you see a prime example of an excellent spike from the back row right there.
Papa sending this one right back at Burgess, Anna Burgess. And there's another double hit. This time responsible is Audie Santana.
So just a great up that time. Anna Burgess, just a freshman, able to get that one up, and the Yellowjackets almost able to play that one back over the net.
Paige Dillon checks in for Blue Ridge. As that one might have been sailing long, but played on by the Yellowjackets as they send it over. And now trying to set it up again in the middle of the floor where Caldwell was met at the net. A lot of length up front here for the Yellowjackets. That time I think it was Smith.
Great job. I think Carlson got the most of that time. That was an excellent block by Carlson. You saw them press over the net that time, Derek. Much better job on the block.
Here comes Papa. She touches this one just outside the sideline. And Blue Ridge has tied it up here at 11.
So this changes things. If the Yellowjackets can get the blocks up front on the net, it really helps the dynamics. It helps them defensively because Snowflake will start to see them trying to hit and tip around the block, and that can cause problems from time to time.
There's Carlson with the dive, set it up for Burgess. Snowflake with the recovery as Papa is blocked. She's able to get it back, send it over to the near side. We're getting that point there, Ellie Lundberg.
I'll tell you, Snowflake is so impressive, Derek, their ability to get the ball up. And you see some really tough hits, and you commented on that earlier. They are just getting balls that are hit pretty hard, and they're able to get them up and give their attackers a chance to get it back over the net.
Burgess had everybody set up for the power, but she touches it down, and now she has it right back off of the face from Anna Berger. She's got the Lobos now with the changeup consecutively on both of those. They were ready for the windup, and she just touched it down back to him.
But Kara Smith's going to get the block on that one, Derek, and that's Kara Smith leading the 3A conference. Actually leading the, that's right, 3A conference in blocking, and she gets another one right there.
Miranda Caldwell Was able to carry it off of her, though, as Snowflake back in front 13-12. This one started off with 5 straight points scored by the Lobos, but Blue Ridge never let them run and hide, and it's been nip and tuck throughout.
Oh, nice block. Great block up front. Reagan Olson. You know, you talked about Reagan Olson as one of the key players at the top of the broadcast, and you get a chance to see how versatile a player. She's such a fine, just a great athlete, able to get up in the air. She's on the short side as an outside hitter, but man, she can really climb the ladder.
Here's Caldwell, as she is denied at the back line by Carlson. Sets up Burgess. She's able to find Penrod. Here comes up and sets up Olson. And it caught the Yellowjackets a little bit out of place.
You know, sometimes those little off-balance hits, those little roll shots, are the most difficult shots for a team to get back over. And Snowflake's so good at just putting pressure on teams. And there's a misstep, and that's good. That's a tough one. Those are the ones that coaches want to get back, because when you're serving, giving the other team 3 points without them having to do anything, that really makes it tough in a close game.
That came from Caldwell, who had the hot hand earlier. As they send it back to the far side, and Olsen, and this time able to get it past the diving Burgess.
Hello, Reagan Olson. Derek, you can't say enough about Reagan Olson and her athletic ability. She has the ability to get up in the air, hang, and you see the power that she's able to hit the ball with.
Savannah Johnson starts it after checking back in for the Lobos, who are back up 15-14.
Look out.
Here comes Reagan Olson, and again going toward that back line. She and Ellie Burgess have been going at each other here in this first set. The Snowflakes back up by a deuce, and here comes Johnson, the senior. It's Santana, who sets up her freshman teammate Anna Burgess.
Well, the Blue Ridge Volleyball program has a bright future, and you can see it right there as you take a look at a freshman who's playing on this varsity team. They've got a lot of good volleyball players that are youngsters that will be helping out throughout the next couple of years.
Cheyenne Higgins off the top of the net and right in front of a diving Lobo.
So, that's what she was trying to do earlier on, and she just got a little too low.
She's got it tied up at 16. The Yellowjackets looking for a lead. They haven't had one since 2-1. Coming to the far side, and Lundberg is going to get it right back, though, with the Lobos. 17-16, Snowflake is in front. Both teams have really been going to the bench. But Kiera Smith, Ellie Burgess have not left the floor for the Yellowjackets. This one's going right after Mink. Try to set it up in the center for Burgess, who has this one just a bit wide.
I'm not sure if she mishit that or just didn't have the angle right. A lot of times when you're used to hitting up in the net, you're hitting from back there, the angles are different from behind the 10-foot line.
18-16 Snowflake in front. Is that one a little bit of a miscommunication between Santana and Smith? And it'll give another point over to the Lobos, 19-16, and a timeout taken by the Yellowjackets. 19-16, Snowflake leading. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
19-16, Snowflake leading. The Lobos been in front for the most of the first set here, Camden, but it's been close. It's been close throughout. Blue Ridge always had an answer as soon as it looks as if the Lobos are about to get some distance.
Snowflake looks a lot better than they did the first time these two teams met. They are definitely playing with a lot of confidence. The first time these two teams met, Snowflake lost the first set, and they looked like they just weren't in the game at all. And this set, you see a completely different game.
That time set up nicely was Kiera Smith, as again the Lobos were kind of getting back on the heels, expecting something with a lot of power, and allowing her just to guide it down into no man's land to get the serve back. Now trailing just 2, 19-17. Johnson going to the far side, and Papa, who's long.
Well, going back to that hit that Kiera Smith made, not a whole lot that Snowflake could do about that. She goes up, and she looks like she's going to swing. You can't tell she's tipping, because the set was a little bit off, and then she's able to just push it down.
Anna Burgess with the serve. Again, coming right at Papa. She's only a sophomore. And that time she was able to carry that off of a couple of Yellowjackets at the net. Is coming out is the aforementioned Anna Burgess. Back out there for the Yellowjackets is Paige Dillon. Is back to serve with a 20-18 lead for Snowflake is Kylie Penrod. This one set up just a little bit too firmly. Santana couldn't get underneath it, and that allowed one of the Lobos to run up to the net and again just tip it down. Now back up to a 3-point lead.
That's the middle hitter, Caldwell, doing a nice job. He getting up in the air and just taking advantage of an overpass.
Penrod sends it over. This time Santana comes to the near side with Carlson. Sends that one out too strong.
That's a good idea. Carlson's trying to go line with that. It's a tougher shot. It's difficult to get that line. The set was a little back, and kind of a tough chance there for Carlson.
22-18 is there, elevating at the net with Smith. She has that one down to keep Snowflake from running away. 22-19, and going back to serve for the Yellowjackets is Carlson. Send that to Penrod, as this one will be punched over by Olsen. Oh, and now trying to go back toward, who is that, Dillon?
Santana. Well, Santana actually trying to spike that one down, Derek. She's trying to catch Snowflake off guard. The problem was she took her eyes off of it. You saw her look to where she was going to hit it before she hit it.
Timeout now, 23-19, Snowflake leading. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school
Orthodontist
volleyball.
Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Well, here in the first set, Snowflake matching its largest lead. It's been very close throughout. 23-19 right now is after a little bit of an unforced error between Audie Santana and Paige Dillon. Lobos now looking to try to close it out, and they're going to send Macy Penrod back. Looking for just two. As this one toward the back line. And had by Santana, who's just going to try to send this one up, and it's not going to make it. Yellowjackets looking a little discombobulated.
Yeah, I don't know what happened on that one, but Smith didn't know that she was the one supposed to take it, and everybody else just left it alone for her. So
there's a set point.
Oh,
this one was hit firmly off of Ellie Burgess's right hand. Not a lot anybody in a Snowflake uniform is going to be able to do with that. As Smith comes out for the first time, she's replaced by Cheyenne Higgins.
When the Yellowjackets are in system, when they get a good pass, get a good set, that's what they can expect from their hitters.
Off to the far side, where it's sent over by Anna Berger.
They're going to call Higgins in the net, and that's just a tough way to end that first set.
Snowflake takes it 25-20, but it's been close here throughout. They get the first set, though, and as they switch sides, we'll step away as Sholo Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on NightTalk1067.com will return right after this.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable. I've learned everything about the hair, skin, and nails. I've gained confidence in what I'm doing, so I'll be successful when I get out in the salon. This is an industry where I'll always have a job, and a job where I can express my creativity and make my own hours. I have transformed my life by coming to NPC. I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable. I've learned everything about the hair, skin, and nails. I've gained confidence in what I'm doing, so I'll be successful when I get out in the salon. This is an industry where I'll always have a job, and a job where I can express my creativity and make my own hours. I have transformed my life by coming to NPC.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Blue Ridge, on the other hand, just now getting back out onto the floor. What kind of adjustments do you anticipate them making?
Well, I think they're just talking about execution. Obviously, that was not a perfect first set for them, and they would like to do a lot better. We'll see how they do in the second set.
Snowflake will be serving. As I'm going to send Macy Penrod now. As she sends this one long, and that looked like the Lobos were flirting with that a couple of times, and that might have been one of the conversations that the Yellowjacket coaches were having with them. Go ahead and let those sail.
Yeah, and it's just a big game. A lot of jitters. We'll see if they play better in the second set. Nice job by Caldwell.
Saved by the Yellowjackets as they get it back over. Now set it up again for Caldwell, as this time she's going to find it in space.
So that's that tip right there, and that's the Yellowjackets have been working on that, trying to close up their defense and play that tip. You've got your front row players up there to block, back row players play pretty deep on this Yellowjacket team. A lot of ground to cover.
Smith trying to touch that one down to the near sideline, but has that one a bit wide after the Yellowjackets claimed a lead, something that they didn't have an awful lot of in the first set. Snowflake answers with 2 straight, now up 2-1. Is this trying to set it up, I should say, on the other side for Burgess. She's able just to get it over the net now as Caldwell sends this one toward the end line, but it's coming right back over with Burgess, who has that long.
Well, Jackets really struggling to get a good pass and get a good set, and it's really tough to get in their offense and utilize their strengths up front if they can't get that pass and set.
Papa continuing with the serve. So again, going back toward Burgess. She has this one deflected at the net. Coming back to the near side where it's again tapped down. This time Reagan Olsen.
There it is all night long. And Reagan Olsen does a nice job of recognizing she's got a big block in front of her. 2 nice blockers here on this left side, on the outside. Do a nice job of closing things off, so she just tips over the top.
Caldwell with the answer. That one just sent back over, but not again, as there's a nice save. That time it was Dillon. Trying to set it up now with Burgess. She tips it, but the Lobos are ready. Coming back to Olsen, this time with the authority.
So this starts with a great pass and then a great set. And then you see Reagan Olsen, what she can do with the ball when you put it in the right spot for her. And she hammers that one down.
5 straight now for the Lobos. As this serves directly at Dillon, again trying to go back over to Burgess, but she is met at the net by Anna Berger.
So this is where the Jackets have just got to settle down and make sure that they start playing with confidence, because right now they're out of their game.
Continuing to feed Berger, this time with success. But
there we go.
6 straight by Snowflake to take that 6-2 lead. They're really trying to lean on Burgess over there.
Burgess has been a starter on this Yellowjacket team for 4 years, and you can see her senior leadership there as she comes down after making an error. She comes down and just hammers that one down.
This one a little bit too firmly struck by Penrod, and that provides Higgins an opportunity.
From what I'm told, that's called happy birthday. It's an overpass, and the middle hitter, Cheyenne Higgins, does a nice job putting it down with 2 hands.
Mink again serving, trailing 6-3. Here comes Olsen as she is able to power that through 2 Yellowjackets at the net.
The Jackets got what they wanted there. Reagan Olsen with a real heavy hit, and their blockers are able to get that one up, but the back row just can't get to the ball.
Carmen Whitney off the bench for Snowflake as the Lobos have Caldwell back to serve, leading 7-3 here in the second set. Lobos took the first one 25-20.
And they got a student in the Blue Ridge student section with a light on their phone that the official wants off.
It's a sharp eye.
Yeah.
Going over to Burgess as she has this one again coming angling between Olsen and Caldwell, and I don't know if either was going to have much of a shot. Penrod back off the bench for the Lobos, who still lead 7-4, is going back to serve now for the Yellowjackets, Azadi Santana.
That was just in a great place. Nice job by Burgess to put that in a good spot.
Go to the far side where it's set up for Berger.
Anna Berger is one of those athletes that Snowflake absolutely loves because not only does she pay dividends on volleyball, she also plays softball. She was their starting pitcher last year, had a phenomenal run to the state title game, and you could see her athleticism in that hit right there.
Savannah Johnson just checked in and is now serving. This one dug, and now eventually going to have to be set over by Carlson. And I don't think that the Yellowjackets are comfortable with that.
I like it. I like the fact that Carlson's being aggressive there. I mean, I know maybe she should have taken a little off on that one, but I like it.
9-4 Snowflake leading and matching its largest advantage here in the second set is Burgess.
Nice.
As this one firmly struck, but still the Lobos are able to get back and into position. They've got a double touch, or is this a net?
I missed the call, but I want to say that Penrod, a terrific job on a very difficult hit to get that one up. It was a bit of an overpass, but tremendous job in the back row by Penrod.
Burgess coming to the near side and Lundberg. She sends it over, but the Yellowjackets are ready to defend. Burgess now as Snowflake again trying to recover as Olsen sends this one just inside the end line.
I tell you, Reagan Olsen's fun to watch, and you know she recognizes that she can go line on that hit. Does a nice job, and she's able to hit it over the block. Does a nice job of snapping at the top. You can see the spin and the rotation on the ball. Able to get that one back in the corner.
10-5 is the freshman Burgess. Can't find any space as this one denied by two Yellowjackets. Coming right back over to Papa. She elevates and has this one sent between two Yellowjackets, one of whom was the diving Smith.
Oh, that was tough.
11-5, Snowflake leads and forces Blue Ridge to call timeout here in the second set, already leading 1-0.
Who sells the number one truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Leading 11-5. This is the largest advantage the Lobos have had, but it kind of is starting to feel as if they're just gradually kind of wearing down the Yellowjackets. What do they need to do now to try to recover?
So Blue Ridge they're completely out of sync right now, and you see some of the mistakes that they're making right now. A lot of that is just inexperience, and but some of it is just the pressure that Snowflake is consistently putting on them. You watch when Blue Ridge gets a really good hit, the back row defense for the Snowflake, they're just taking it like it's nothing. And that's one of the problems when you play Snowflake. They are so tough.
Olsen eats up one of the Yellowjackets. Nearly got away with it on the touch, but Lobos recover as Papa has this one dove upon to save. Now coming right back up where it was tipped over by Whitney, but there the Yellowjackets able to recover. Olsen on the back line saves it. Coming again to the near side, and Papa sends that one to her right, but it's recovered there by Carlson. Nice dive there from Johnson. As it's again met at the net by two players, and winning the battle will be Carmen Whitney.
Carmen Whitney does a fantastic job of just overpowering Cheyenne Higgins that time. She just wins the battle. And that's, Snowflake doesn't have a lot of size, but Whitney is one of those players that can be a very big force for them in that middle hitter position.
12-5, and Olsen still serving. Is this one set up and too strong? Burgess really been leaning on her in this second set.
Absolutely, and rightly so. That's who you want to go to. Go to your senior.
13-5, Snowflake leading here. And the lead growing in the second is Burgess. Has this one right
nice.
Between two diving Lobos.
They got bailed out there. So the serve receive, there wasn't a great pass, but then Anna Burgess does a nice job getting that one over. That was a big point for the Yellowjackets.
13-6, and going back to serve is Cheyenne Higgins. She's got the one ace off the top of the net. Going forward again, but this time digging that one out is Penrod. Come to the near side, Papa. Right at Burgess,
nice.
And off the ceiling. Having to send this one over. Penrod, Johnson, and now Papa. Well defended by Blue Ridge as they come back over to the far side. Carlson has this one just inside.
Nice job by Carlson. Swinging away. You know, you've had a couple blocked, you've missed a couple, and there was a lot of confidence that time. She's a junior and had a tremendous year so far for the Yellowjackets and does a nice job there.
I don't think the Yellowjackets got their point. The scoreboard's showing 13-7. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Oh, and a miscommunication. Got the freshman and Anna Burgess, who was trying to size that up with Audie Santana. 14-7 now, the Yellowjackets giving the serve right back after it looked like they might have been able to get some momentum. As here Smith has this one trying to get touched over, but again met at the net this time by Caldwell. Caldwell, one of those few Snowflake players that has a little bit of length to her, 5'10". Is this one angling too far to the left, and it's wide. It was met very nonchalantly by everybody involved. I was expecting some kind of hooting, but
nobody cheered.
No, 15-8, and here comes the freshman Burgess. Johnson coming to Papa, and she has this one caroming off of both Santana and Smith. Both teams going to the bench. Is coming in for the Yellowjackets is Paige Dillon. Snowflake bringing in Macy Penrod. As well, I think Anna Berger coming back in. Lobos sending Penrod back to serve, leading 16-8 here in the second set, already up 1-0. Smith coming back over now with the Lobos, and Papa, she is on the attack and right at Dillon.
I'm going to tell you, Macy Papa is going to be something else in the coming years. And her sister was a great volleyball player, graduated last year, and you see just this athleticism and the dynamics that she's able to put that ball into power.
17-8, Snowflake leading, and Yellowjackets needing another timeout here in the second set. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
8, Snowflake leading in the second set, having taken the first 25-20. It was nip and tuck throughout the first one. The largest advantage that the Lobos had was that final of 25-20, that 5-point difference. But having it opened it up a little bit now in the second as they're able to get this one off of one of the diving Lobos and get the serve back. But they're going to need to get hot here, trailing still 8.
Anna Carlson on that one. She's got another kill to her name.
Carlson now serving. The Lobos again trying to set up Papa. If she gets a piece of one of the Yellowjackets, no, they're going to say that it was untouched. Nope, okay, the officials consult, and that is going to be a point for Snowflake.
I'm surprised that the line judge didn't call that. I mean, it was touched. We could see it from here, but interesting call. Interesting way the call went down, I should say.
This Berger coming over to Olsen. And she has this one again firmly struck. I think that was Santana who was trying to defend.
I don't know what to tell Santana in that situation. Obviously, she'd love to get that block, but Olsen hangs for so long. You see Macy Papa taking advantage right there. Another great serve, but Olsen hangs in the air for so long that it's so difficult as a blocker.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you match that?
Papa leading 20-9. Again going right at Mink. As they seem as if they're picking on Tegan Mink a little bit, the sophomore libero.
Well, and credit Macy Papa, just some really tough serves here. She's hitting a knuckleball serve. That serve is floating.
Yeah.
And very difficult to get.
Burgess sends it over. Snowflake was waiting, as this time it's set up for Caldwell. As she hits it down, and it's now 22-9. The Lobos are in front and getting close here to ice in the second set, already up 1-0.
You know, Derek, I was talking to the Eastern Arizona College coach about this Snowflake team because she's got 2 Snowflake players on her team down there at EAC. And the one thing she says about this Snowflake team and Coach Ramage is that they get a lot of touches. They're in the gym all the time. This team is constantly working, constantly playing volleyball, and that's big.
This time a little bit out of position.
I think I jinxed him.
You're talking about Coach
overpass
Ramage.
right there.
I don't know if he's getting ready for Halloween, if he's got like a can of beans or something. Looks like he's ready to.
This is quintessential Alan Ramage right here. I love his.
He usually dresses like a hobo, is what you're saying?
He's always dapper.
Okay.
He's always got a great tie. You know, he had a lucky tie. We should ask him about his tie. That may be his lucky tie. I don't know. We'll have to ask him about it.
There's 2 straight for the Yellowjackets, and it's Snowflake who continues to look like it's a little bit out of position. This time recovering to get it over, but sets it up for Burgess. She's met by Caldwell, and Papa's got to come over. This time sent back over by Higgins, but Snowflake was ready as this one returned by Berger. And eventually just finding the Yellowjackets a little bit out of place as coming back out now is Mink and being replaced. I think they're bringing Carlson back in, are the Yellowjackets. And Snowflake serving 23-12, already with the first set in the books and in their favor. Setting up Burgess as she has that one deflected at the net. Doug, and then coming back to Olsen, just a bit wide.
Coach Ramage up off the bench to go, oh man, that was close. But she winds up, boy, and you look out. That thing's going to come down with some heat.
Caldwell out for the Lobos, Penrod back in. 23-13. Snowflake leading, but back serving for the Yellowjackets is Santana. Coming right at Olsen as now she goes to the center, where it was headed by Whitney, but she couldn't get it over the net. And it's 23-14. So if nothing else, it seems as if the Yellowjackets have recovered here toward the tail end of the second set and getting ready to set it up for the third. Got some momentum back. As Santana again right at Olsen. This time going to the far side where it was sent over by Berger, but she was met by 2 Yellowjackets. I think that was both Burgess and Smith.
Yeah, nice job with the block, pressing across the net, get that ball down.
The lead is trimmed to 8 here in the second set.
That's tough. That's a tough call. They haven't, you know, in high school volleyball, they haven't been making that call on the first hit where they call that carry, and I'm surprised to see it there.
Trying to come up here and set up Olsen, and she has that one again just inside that back line.
No question about it. When Snowflake is in system and they get a good pass, they almost always get a good set to their hitters, and Reagan Olsen is one of the best in the business to put those away.
24-16 here, set point. As Burgess has that one right in front of it again, a couple of Lobos, and again it looks like she has them set up, thinking about all of those strong hits that she has sent. And she'll go back and serve 24-17. Her team is trailing. But a little bit of a recovery, though, is here Johnson setting up Olsen, sends it too strong.
A little bit of a rally here for the Jackets, and Snowflake wants to close this game out, not give any momentum to the Jackets here.
Burgess trailing 6 as she serves. Papa. Olsen this time sends that one right into the corner. And Snowflake does close out the second set, 25-18, now leading 2-0. As we will be back with the third right after this. It's high school volleyball from Sholo Ford on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
All right, so Snowflake takes the first set 25-20. That one was close throughout as the Lobos were only trailing at 1.2-1. but were able to continue to keep the Yellowjackets at arm's length, and then toward the end of the first set, able to get the distance and eventually ice that one 25-20. Blue Ridge comes back and takes an early lead in the second set, but 6 straight were scored by the Lobos, and that really set the tone as they took that 6-1 lead, eventually stretched it out to a 12-point advantage. And though Blue Ridge was able to come back and make it close toward the end of the second set, they fall 25-18 and are right now having switched sides, trying to avoid the sweep, as this one had started off here with the 2 freshman teams going, and Snowflake winning those with relative ease. The JV, though, was very spirited, very close, and eventually taken by the Yellowjackets. Kind of said coming out of this one that it was going to be a varsity matchup to try to win the day for one of these 2 programs, and right now Snowflake with the upper hand, having taken the first 2 sets, and just as we had seen after the first set, the Lobos already out on the floor, as they don't need the full 2.5 minutes to discuss, and the Yellowjackets, who have called 4 timeouts combined over the first 2 sets, are still huddled up and trying to get things figured. That second set had featured an awful lot of Ellie Burgess. She's got the 329 kills, but really trying to lean on her offensively, as she was the focal point on both the offensive and defensive side. But she, not until the end of it, was really able to find a lot of consistent success. Snowflake, meanwhile, much as had happened in the first set, relying consistently upon Reagan Olson, who's got now well over the 79 points on the season, as well as Macy Papa, who's just a sophomore. And she has been alternating here on the left side with Olson as they continue to get set up and fed a steady diet. But the Lobos now leading 2-0. The Yellowjackets are going to set to serve with Amanda Carlson, a junior, and looking to try to extend their evening, already trailing 2-0 as she sends it over. Olson ready to set it up with Johnson, coming right back to Carlson, who is met at the net. There's Burgess, there's Smith on the block, and there, just as had happened in the second set, an early 1-0 advantage for the Yellowjackets. Carlson again on the approach with an early lead as Olson again goes to Johnson, this time over to Papa, who is going to be met at the net. This one saved toward the stands. This is going to send back over by one of the Yellowjackets. Again back over to Papa as she sends across court, but defended by Burgess, trying to set her up on the near side. But it was a little wide, so she's got to come just get it over. And now being met again at the line is Carlson, but she nearly has that one down. Sending that one back is Paige Dillon, is again trying to set up Carlson, this time with a touch, but she is met at the net by Smith. This time with the punch and finding space is Ellie Lundberg, and Snowflake is on the board here in the third set. Savannah Johnson checks out for the Lobos, as does Lundberg. Going back to serve after coming in is Macy Penrod, tied up at 1. Snowflake leading 2-0 as Burgess has this one going right into the chops from Anna Berger. Smith checking out. Back out for the Lobos is Cheyenne Higgins. 2-1, Blue Ridge leading. As this time Papa gets this one around Higgins, but it's still controlled by the Yellowjackets as Higgins can't get that one by Penrod, and that sets up Papa as she again has this one tapped down and sent in front of Higgins. Tie it up at 2 here in the third set. Back to serve for the Lobos is Macy Papa, the sophomore, who's been so instrumental in everything that the Lobos are trying to do today. This one sent directly toward Carlson. Now set up in the center of the floor as this one strongly hit and dove after, but can't get that one after a little bit of an okey-doke there from one of the Yellowjackets at the net. I think that was Burgess. As her sister Anna Burgess comes in, the freshman, and sets it up now as Santana sends that one to the far line. Olson, after being set up, met at the net. Oh, and a miscommunication between 3 or 4 of the Lobos. Looked like somebody wanted to get Olson involved, but nobody had talked about whom it shall be. As now the Yellowjackets have their largest lead at 4-2. And back to serve is Santana. That one just inside the end line, 5-2. The Yellowjackets, we talked about it in the second set, had taken away some of the momentum from Snowflake after trailing by as many as 12. Were able to trim the deficit to 6. And they continue to play well here in the third, now leading 5-2. Going away from Olsen and having this one set up.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find
Berger, as she has that one crossed and in front of the far sideline to get the serve back, and the Lobos leading or trailing 5-3 with Marinda Caldwell doing the serving. Santana sets up Burgess, nothing there. She's got to come back and get this one, send it over the net where it's had by Papa. Trying to go to the center where it's had by Whitney, but she's met at the net. Trying this time set it up as it was defended nicely and punched over the net, but too strongly after Macy Penrod was a little bit back on her heels. Caldwell comes out. Back out there is Kylie Penrod, as it's a 6-3 advantage for Blue Ridge here in the third set. They're trailing 2-0. This one at the net, and miscommunication again as Macy Penrod. She's a junior, but having a little bit of a hard go here in the third set as her team's trailing 7-3, and back in serving is Burgess. Coming up with Papa in the center, defended by Burgess as they come back over to Carlson. She is denied by Papa on the back line. Oh, and then again, a little bit of miscommunication between the Lobos. This time it was Anna Berger, who looked like she, at the last moment, was unsure of anybody being behind her. Tried to go overhand, but couldn't find some spot. Now this is the largest advantage that Blue Ridge has had at any time. Continue to expand, leading 8-3 as Olsen denied at the net. This one falls. And it's going to be a 9-3 edge for the Yellowjackets. Ellie Burgess back and serving. Yeah, that one's too strong. 9-4, Blue Ridge leads as Berger and Macy Penrod come out. Back out is Lundberg and Savannah Johnson for the Lobos, trailing 5 but leading 2-0. As this one had by Burgess, coming over with Higgins as she sets up Carlson. And now coming to the near side are the Lobos with Olsen coming right after Burgess. 9-5 after Blue Ridge had a 6-point advantage. And there you see Olsen again timing that one up and elevating at the net as she sends it down to make it just a 4-point deficit. Johnson again serving. As this one coming to the near side, Carlson. Tapped by Johnson, but couldn't get that one in front of Papa, who's going to be said to be just a little bit late. And that'll give the Yellowjackets the point and serve, leading 10-5 here in the third set. Back to send it over is Higgins. And she sets up Johnson, coming back over to Whitney and poking that one. It's going to be the third. Carmen Whitney there with the finesse. As you can see, four Yellowjackets going onto the floor to try to recover, but can't do so, and that sets up Olsen now trailing 4. This one coming right after Mink as they go over to Smith. She's overhand at the net, but diving and digging that one out and setting up Olsen. Nothing doing there as they're coming back over the center of the floor, and Burgess. Nice dig there from Olsen. As Smith is able to recover. She sent that one right after Lundberg, and some of that Blue Ridge power at the net is really starting to make its presence felt. As they lead 11-6, their largest advantage in this third set was 6. Snowflake, though, with a 2-0 lead here in the third is Johnson. As this one trying to set up Lundberg, but she is again met by the 6-foot Kiera Smith, and she's there ready with the block. 12-6, the Yellowjackets matching their largest advantage. Going to the far side, and Papa, who's again met. But this one blocked out of bounds. And make it 12-7, Snowflake in front. No, Snowflake is down. Blue Ridge is in front. Snowflake has the 2-0 lead, though. Is back to serve for the Lobos is Kylie Penrod. That one is wide. The success that the Yellowjackets have in here in the third set seemed to go back to the momentum that they had taken in the second. Is here. Again, a little miscommunication as Johnson is trying to set up Caldwell, and that's going to force Lobos to take a timeout, trailing 14-7. They lead 2-0 here in the third, but the Yellowjackets with the momentum as you watch high school volleyball presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
14-7, Blue Ridge has been in control here of this third set, though they dropped the first two, 25-20 and 25-18. As it started as had the second set with the Yellowjackets taking the first point. But unlike the second, when Snowflake scored the next six, it has been the Blue Ridge Yellowjackets that have had a 6 or 7 point lead throughout, forcing the Lobos to use their first timeout of the game. As here Papa coming to the near side and denied at the net after Teagan Mink was again falling out of play and sent that one up a little low and tough to handle for Smith. So after the timeout, the Lobos get the point, trying to wrap this one up in straight sets. They've only lost one set in their last 8. As this time Smith going overhand and right in front of Olsen. (15-8).
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been
and sets this one up. Coming to the net is Carlson. Instead it's Papa who tries to tap it down. As this one coming again right at the net. Net is going to be blocked there by Berger. As the Lobos getting back to trying to use the whole court. And really making the Yellowjackets move laterally. As this one dove upon by Dillon. Coming back over to Burgess, who has this one right at Papa. She's got the save. Now Papa trying to send it over, but right at Burgess. Getting set up, and she comes back, taps it over, and she's on the net. Net violation makes it 15-9. I think the scoreboard had inadvertently given Blue Ridge a point there, and nobody is recognized. Oh, a net violation on the Lobos apparently is here. Tapping that one down is Olsen. Burgess again pleading a case. As there, apparently Burgess was able to successfully plead her case. So that gets some Bluebirds out. The Snowflake bench hops up. They were disapproving as Olsen is going to be said to have been guilty of the infraction. Now Papa trailing 8, can't find space. This one hit firmly by Higgins and now punched back down as it was kick saved by one of the Lobos. And taking a look at the replay as this was going to be denied by Olsen. The Lobos trying to get the sweep, and everybody's getting a little bit hot as they're trailing 17-10. Marinda Caldwell serves this one with the deficit. As they go back over to Burgess, and she has that one blocked out of bounds. Give the point to Blue Ridge, 18-10. The Yellowjackets are leading. Trailing 2-0, but have been in control throughout here in the third. As Burgess goes back to serve. Been trying to come to the far side, instead go away from Olsen, instead set up Berger. You can see on the far side there, Olsen really coming up and distracting an awful lot of the Blue Ridge defense. And that provides the window of opportunity for Berger. Is now going back to serve as Savannah Johnson trailing 18-11. Lobos trying to get the momentum back. As they're coming to the near side and Carlson. Dug out there by Papa as they come back over with Olsen and has that one deflected off of Anna Burgess. And now the Lobos starting to feel it a little bit as they had been trailing 8, but have now scored the last 2 to make it 18-12. Johnson back again to set it up. As she sends this one back over to Burgess. Here's Santana trying to set up Carlson, who taps that down in the midst of a trio of Lobos. 19-12. Is back to serve as Cheyenne Higgins. Higgins has this one just inside the end line. She had been okey-doking him off of the top of the net. And this time the Lobos watches this one cleanly sails over it and forces Snowflake to call a timeout, trailing 20-12, though they had won the first 2 sets. But they're down here in the third. This is Show Board's presentation of high school volleyball on Nights 106.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
20-12, Blue Ridge leading here in the third. Yellowjackets had stretched out an 8-point edge. The Snowflake looked as if it was going to respond, as there are 2 very passionate student sections from both Snowflake and Blue Ridge, and they spent that timeout hollering at each other. Blue Ridge with the service. Higgins had the ace on the previous attempt, but this time it's going to be set up with Olsen caroming off of one of the Yellowjackets. That sets up Whitney as she is able to get. Oh, they're going to say she was on the net. I'm trying to gauge Coach Ramage's reaction. Is he was displeased with his player or the call? Might have been a combination of the two. As here, Olsen sends it over, and it sets up Smith, and now what's this?
Double hit there. Setter just pushed it with 2 hands, or pushed it off balance with her hands. You saw the hit come off, the set come off a little awkward that time.
This one, again, knuckling right at Tegan Mink.
Great serve by Reagan Olsen. You see it float. Watch the jump serve here, and you see it just dive.
Makes it 21-14 as they again go right at Mink. Trying to set it up with Smith as she tried to tap it down, but Snowflake was ready. There's Papa going over the net. Send this one back to Anna Burgess. Can't find any space. Come back over to Papa as she has this one deflected out of bounds, and it's just a 6-point ball game. Camden Blue Ridge has been much more sharper with the execution here in the third set.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. They're falling into some of those old habits, and they haven't been getting the best of opportunities at the net here of recent.
Olsen with the serve. There's Smith overhand, but Snowflake ready. Go back over to Papa as she has that one deflected. Saved by Santana. Set it up with Burgess. She has this one sent back over and out of play.
Such a great weapon to have as a back row attacker. You see it there. Just not much Snowflake could do with that one. Nice job by Ellie Burgess.
3 points away are the Yellowjackets with a 7-point edge here in the third. Coming back over with Whitney as Burgess has that one dug back. Now having to go over the net. Johnson wanted to set up Papa. Burgess with the dig. Come back and over to Carlson, who's a little bit long.
Oh, she got it.
Oh, she got it in.
That was in. That was in the corner. Right down the line. Right where you want to put that. The block, they're taking away the inside hit there. She goes line, and that defender's playing shading a little bit to the middle of the floor, and she does a nice job seeing that and taking advantage.
23-15, Blue Ridge is up. There's that time Whitney can't get it down. There's Burgess, and that time that is long.
Oh, just needed a little more snap, little more rotation on the ball here. But look at her attack there from the back row. That was close.
She hasn't been off the court.
I chose.
This is ordinary, you say, for the senior.
Of course, yeah. So she's their outside hitter playing 6 rotations. Has been an outstanding player. Like we mentioned, been starting for 4 years.
I can't put the Lobos away, as there's consecutive points for Snowflake to make it 23-17. Here with the serve is Penrod. Coming right back over with the tip, and Smith, as she's able to get it in space, and just out the diving grab there attempted by Olsen.
So what you're seeing is that the set's just a little bit high. Smith's trying to hang in the air to get something on that ball. It's just a nice job that time doing something with it.
Go back to the far side in Papa as that one's blocked out. And again, the Lobos continuing to lurk.
You know, you talk about Yellowjackets in their setting. It's tough for them because they're trying to do these timing sets everything has to be absolutely perfect in order for them to get off, especially with their middle hitters.
That's blocked out of bounds, and the Yellowjackets are on the board, 25-18. And they're the star of that third set, and aptly ending it was Ellie Burgess, as the Lobos are going to switch sides now, leading 2-1 after dropping that one 25-18. This is Solo Ford's presentation, high school volleyball on iTalk1067.com.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I chose NPC because it offers good quality education. Ultimately, I want to be a nurse anesthetist. This is the start to that path. The instructors want you to succeed, which is really helpful. I've learned a lot so far in just one semester. It's kind of crazy how much I've learned. Northland Pioneer College is transforming my life by helping me achieve my goals in my career.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing slides, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I chose Northland Pioneer College because their prices were affordable. I've learned everything about the hair, skin, and nails. I've gained confidence in what I'm doing, so I'll be successful when I get out in the salon. This is an industry where I'll always have a job, and a job where I can express my creativity and make my own hours. I have transformed my life by coming to NPC.
All right, the Blue Ridge Yellowjackets avoid the sweep, take the third set, still trail 2-1. And Camden, we talked about it at the end of that second set when it looked like the Lobos were running and hiding, but then the Yellowjackets had that huge comeback, halved the deficit, and it really seemed like it set the stage for the big play in the third set.
Yeah, they, and credit the Yellowjackets for not hanging their heads and not, not falling out of it, just saying, okay, we're done. That's a big win. You know, you're down 2 sets and you're able to come back against a team like Snowflake. That's a big, big win.
Let's see how the Lobos respond. They got the first 2 sets and the second one with relative ease, but likewise the Blue Ridge win in the third. As there's Smith is on the net.
No, they got a caller with the carry that time, and I don't know. That's my kid, so I'm going to say that's a tough call.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Out.
And they're having a hard time on the exchange of Santana.
Yeah. All of these sets that are happening in the middle, they absolutely have to be perfect. The timing has to be perfect, and it's just been a little off tonight.
Santana going to the far side, and Carlson has this one deflected out of bounds, so the Yellowjackets are on the board.
And you saw that one. Amanda Carlson got a big swing off of that one. Now, part of the reason she's able to get a big swing is that's a higher set. The hitter has time to adjust if the set's off balance. It was actually a good set, though.
Carlson
maybe a little close.
Sends it over as Snowflake responds with Berger, and that one sent right at Olsen.
Okay, maybe we got the replay here because Snowflake coach wants to say this was attacked after she crosses the line. She does not. That is a great hit by Amanda Carlson. We saw it there on the replay, and it looked when I watched it live, I thought maybe she crossed that 10-foot line as well. She did not.
This one punched over by one of the Lobos, but the Yellowjackets ready and in receipt. Come back over now as Caldwell is blocked. Is that Smith on the?
I'm not sure if they called that a block or if that was just in the net, but nonetheless, Jackets are happy about it.
Macy Penrod trying to set up Caldwell as she is this time able to find some space and get the tie back up at 3. Again, This is a much more intense look from the Lobos coming out after dropping the third set. Credit the Yellowjackets for now matching the intensity, having taken a narrow lead. As it's tied back up at 3 as Burgess sends this one right at Penrod. Now going to the center where they're trying to set up Caldwell. She sends that one into net.
Yep, just didn't quite get that one high enough.
4-3 Blue Ridge in front. And now it looks as if Snowflake's tightening up a bit, despite having the 2-set-to-1 lead.
Good serve. Good serve. Out of system. So much of this game, Derek, is about getting that pass to the setter. And you saw there, great serve. Olsen having a little bit of trouble on the pass. Again, same situation. And Mink doing a terrific job taking advantage right now. And Snowflake struggling to get a pass.
6-3, the Yellowjackets are in front. Mink again serving. This time had by Penrod, but had to be sent right back over by one of the Lobos. Now set up Olsen, as this time she's able to get a little bit of the juice behind it.
Yeah, I think Santana wants that one back. She hit that one down and really gave Snowflake another crack at it. I think she would have been better off if they'd have been able to start their offense with that. I think she had a chance that time just to go ahead and make a pass with that one and let them get into an offense. However, Santana's their setter, so maybe she was thinking that was her best option.
And she sets up Burgess, who's able to get that one past a diving Caldwell.
So difficult to defend that. You know, she's so far away from the net. And, you know, typically in high school, you don't see a lot of back row setting. And so something that they don't work on a whole lot.
This one a little out of sync, but still benefiting from it, as that was Papa who was able to get that one just in front of the diving Burgess.
You know, sometimes it's a roll shot. That just little extra time. So the blocker's going up, and she's expecting to get a big hit, get a big swing, and what she gets instead is this slow little roll shot. Sometimes that's such a nice shot to play.
Snowflake trailing 2 here in the 4th set. As this one again punched away by Burgess.
Good spot. That was an excellent spot for Burgess.
8-5, the Yellowjackets are up. And going back to serve is Burgess. She has that one just hummed in a little bit low.
Those are the ones that come back to haunt you. You know, the ones where you don't make the other team take a point from you, where you just give them a point. Those are so hard to get back in a tight game.
This time Higgins is able to deliver.
Great set by Santana. Higgins they haven't been passing to her very often. And you can see right there, the Snowflake front line not quite ready, but what a great shot by Higgins.
Higgins got a couple of aces as she again kisses that one off the top of the net. Come back over to Papa, who's that one deflected and right in front of a diving Carlson.
You can see why Papa's second on this team for kills right there.
Snowflake's really been leaning heavily on both she and Olsen. It seems as if since the Blue Ridge Yellowjackets have been able to get a little bit of this momentum back, it's because they have had a few more players that have become involved, but as soon as I say it, there's a little bit of an awkward exchange between Smith and Anna Burgess.
It's just that timing. You know, they got to get that timing down, and unfortunately for that, on that middle hit, there's if you don't have the timing down, it's just not going to happen.
This time Smith set up and able to deliver in front of the end line.
So that time the set just a little bit higher, and Smith had a chance to go after it.
10-8, Blue Ridge has again been in front throughout this 4th set, as had happened in the 3rd, but this time the Lobos doing a little bit better job keeping this one tight as they set up Papa and has this one nearly going away, but instead going to be sent over by Smith. Then trying to set it up this time. Caldwell is able to get it down.
Man, that was some authority. She sent that ball with some velocity. See the celebration afterwards? That's a big time hit.
Back to serve Penrod. As Dillon gets the touch, then going back over with Carlson, but she's too strong.
Oh, those are tough. Those are tough. Those are the ones that let teams back into ball games. Now we're tied at 10.
Macy Penrod continuing with the serve. This time coming back with Smith, as is this one tapped up but too short.
See that Smith was trying to come in here tight and that set carried her out wide, but she couldn't make the adjustment.
Snowflake in front now, 11-10. First lead since 3-2 as this one again sent up short.
Unforced errors. That, Jackets had this game in hand, and then the unforced errors are the ones that you go back on tape and you go, man, could we just get those back? There's that roll shot. Good time to use it.
But Yellowjackets haven't really been going to the bench here in the fourth. Snowflake alternatively continues with its usual substitution pattern. Only bring it up is we're sending things into the net, Camden. They maybe getting a little bit tired.
Well, they got him under. Snowflake under the net. They're calling Berger under the net. That was a great up by Snowflake, getting the ball back over, but taken away because of a net violation.
Tied up at 12. The Yellowjackets come back with 2 unanswered. There's here Caldwell. This one sent up high and kind of right in between, perfectly placed between Burgess and Smith.
Yeah, I don't know who's supposed to have that, but you can look at Mink and the expression on her face. Man, we just can't do this.
And Papa has that one right at Dylan. I think she just took her eye off it.
Yeah, that's a tough one because that ball is moving, and you just can't afford to not look it into your hands.
So after giving up a 2-point lead, the Lobos right back up 14-12, and there's Papa again. And that's going to force the Yellowjackets to take a timeout as they're again going right at Dylan, and she was caught between. Snowflake leading 15-12 here in the fourth set. This is Sholem Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on NightTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Snowflake leading 2-1, won the first two 25-20 and 25-18. Blue Ridge came back with an 25-18 win in the third, and now they've taken turns exchanging leads. It's never been any more than 3 points here in the fourth set. Snowflake currently holding a 3-point edge. Blue Ridge had one earlier, and Papa, who has 2 aces, forcing a timeout, serves again with that 3-point advantage as Burgess has this one right back at Papa. Now she's going to get set up. Find Mink. The Yellowjackets trying to set up Burgess again, and she has this one just beyond Penrod's grasp.
Nice hit by Ellie Burgess. Papa, nice back row attack by her, but the Jackets that time able to get a good dig and get a good pass and get into their offense.
15-13. Snowflake still in front as here comes Olsen. And I got to.
Olsen's so high in the air. Look at how high she is in the air. Just so high. I mean, she's well over the block when she hits that.
And listed at 5'7". I think that she might have the 30-inch vertical on her.
Olsen, I believe as a freshman, won a state championship in triple jump and long jump.
Well, that was well defended on the near side by Caldwell, and that's going to set up that point on the exchange.
Oh, they're going to replay the point.
Oh.
They had both teams in the net, so they're going to replay the point. Coach Ramage doesn't like it.
It takes away Caldwell's excellent defense as she now is wide on the serve.
Yep, so that right there, that we talked about it, unforced errors. Now Snowflake giving back one of those points.
Anna Burgess in for Paige Dillon as the Yellowjackets are serving, trailing 16-14. That one coming right at Olsen as she's going to get set up and put that one just inside the end line.
I don't know if we'll see this on the end of this replay, but she takes down the Yellowjacket camera. Gets knocked off of its thing. I think it may be done for the night.
She wants no witnesses. 17-14, back up to a 3-point edge for the Lobos. As here's Anna Burgess, gets it over, and again trying to come right at Olsen. She's met at the net, and saving that one was Higgins. Can't get the point out of it as again here comes Papa as she has this one deflected off of Burgess. A diving effort, but Smith can't get underneath it. It's a 4-point game here and what could potentially be the decisive set. Back to serve Savannah Johnson. This one at Burgess. Is they're going to come back to her.
Great set.
And set up by Papa. She gets it over to Olsen, but a nice dig there from Smith. Go back over to Burgess. This time had by Penrod. And well spot there by Carmen Whitney. Whitney doesn't have the elevation of a lot of these other players, but she's able to pick her choices with the tap. Or pick her chances, I should say. As here's Johnson now leading 5. Higgins. And a little miscommunication. Fortunate to get it over the net. Johnson now again setting up Whitney. Has that one deflected, but saved by Carlson. Just having to get this one over. And again, now trying to come to the near side. And Olsen as she elevates and has that one right between Smith and Carlson.
All right, watch the elevation. Just watch the elevation. What are you going to do about this? Nothing. Can't do anything about it.
20-14, Snowflake leading here in the 4th set, trying to ice. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school volleyball.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
20-14 here in the 4th set. Snowflake took the first 25-20, the second 25-18. Blue Ridge came back in the third, won 25-18, but now having stretched out a 6-point edge, the Yellowjackets going back to the end of the second set had really been able to tighten up the execution, really rode that for the win in the 3rd set. But I am again going to just remark on, it seems as if the Lobos have a little bit more depth. The Yellowjackets have been leaning on the same 6 for much of this 4th, and it seems as if that might be wearing them down a little bit. Johnson, case in point, she's been able to come in and serve as an offensive substitution of sorts. As her serves now have set up Olsen as that one's going underneath the net.
Well, we talked about this in the beginning of the broadcast, but right here, look how deep the defender is. And can't quite get up to that tip. Doesn't recognize it quick enough.
21-14, the Lobos lead. As Carlson forced to send that one over, and again setting up Olsen for Snowflake, because this one contacted by Santana and out of play to make it now 22-14.
So the difference is the pass, right? The pass is made on the Snowflake side, gives them a chance to set up their hitter.
8-point edge. As Santana trying to get this one back to Burgess, but she was already on the approach. So now on the other side, setting up Lundberg, but she can't get it down. Burgess again just having to settle for sending it over as Johnson now coming to the near side and Olsen. This one eating up Santana.
Look out. What? See the setter? Setter doesn't have to move. The pass is right on the money. The set's a little tight, really, but Olsen can get up so high, and she high points that ball up above the block.
23-14, the Lobos with the separation. Burgess sending this one at Penrod. And again right at Olsen, and just a little bit too long.
Coach Ramage just asking for a touch. He's not going to get it here. I don't know if we have the replay, but I don't think there was a touch on that one.
So back to serve is Burgess.
Nice serve.
She puts that one right into the neighborhood where Olsen just had to struggle to get some hands on it.
Such a nice serve. Burgess serving with confidence in this one.
It's not over yet here, 23-16.
The pass.
Set up Whitney. And now Santana goes back over to Carlson. Come back to the near side and Olsen. But on the net were a couple of Yellowjackets. Oh no, what was called?
I missed it.
They haven't put a point on the board for either side. This one blocked by Carlson.
Big block, Amanda Carlson. Nice job, right in the lane. Little tight. That set just a little bit too tight to the net for Olsen. Doesn't have a lot of options with it.
23-18, scoreboard showing. As here is again Olsen, this time having that one deflected out of bounds off of Higgins, and here is the game point.
Well, last time these two teams met, it went to 5 sets. Snowflake trying to improve upon their last appearance.
Olsen sends it to the far side where Carlson has that deflected. Set it up with Lundberg. She comes to Papa, and diving into that one, not going to get it down.
It's the freshman. Freshman is going to get the block. Watch this. Nice job. Presses across the net, puts it down.
24-19. Yellowjackets are trailing, but serving with Higgins. Coming to Papa. And again with a second effort. This one deflected, saved by Smith. This one dove upon by Penrod and not able to get that one with Olsen.
Hey, I'll tell you, they're taking away that block on that right side. Papa's not been able to get much on. Anna Burgess, you see her there in the shot. There for a minute there. Anna Burgess, Kara Smith shutting down that outside hit.
2 straight scored by the Jackets. 24-20, Olsen to Johnson. Papa on the near side,
there it
blocked.
is again.
Trying to set it up, going to the far side, and Whitney as she has this one. Not able to get any space. Here comes Carlson, saved by Johnson. Coming back over to Papa. Tap that one into all sorts of traffic. 3 players dive on it, and it falls in their midst. Snowflake gets the win, 25-20 in 4 sets.
That's that roll shot, and the finesse shot, and it's just
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right, not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
At Summit Healthcare.
All right, Snowflake wins in 4 sets. 25-20, 25-18, and then in the fourth, 25-20. But I think a lot of credit's got to go out to Blue Ridge as the Yellowjackets were really struggling over the first 2, came back to make it interesting. And never even really were fighting it to the end. Snowflake had a 24-18 edge and couldn't really had a hard time putting the Yellowjackets away. As it seemed as if toward the end of that one, really trying hard to remove Reagan Olsen's impact, forcing Macy Papa to try to ice that one and forcing Olsen to the other side of the floor, really taking Snowflake out of what it was trying to do and what it was comfortable with. But still just a little bit too much Lobos in the end.
Lobos are a tough team, and anytime you have a game against Snowflake, you know you're going to be in for a dogfight. They're so scrappy on the floor. They do such a good job defensively. You look at how well they play defensively, and you notice when they get even the tough shots, they're getting those tough shots up. They're getting good passes, good digs, and good passes on the big swings, and that gives your offense so many opportunities to get good sets. And on the other side of the coin, Blue Ridge not quite as good at getting those great passes from the back row. And unfortunately, they're not able to get into their offense as often as Snowflake was, especially towards the end. You saw Reagan Olsen really starting to come alive, able to utilize her athleticism. You've got great hitters on the Blue Ridge team, but they're not able to utilize them because they can't get the pass and then they can't get the set to them.
Hey, you credited Snowflake with an awful lot of the trouble with the initiating those serves. Do you think that was a big part of the Blue Ridge struggle to try to get those offensive sets started? Or
no question. I mean, Snowflake is one of the toughest serving teams in the conference, and so you're going to get those tough, hard serves, and you're going to have to be able to pass them. But Blue Ridge has just got to get better. It's really a lot. I think a lot of it just has to do with touches. I think, we talked to Coach Sherry Kay at Eastern Arizona College, and that was her comment, was that these players from Snowflake get so many touches, and it's a credit to Coach Ramage and his program. He does a nice job of getting these girls to come out and play volleyball all the time. They're always in the gym, always looking for opportunities to play, and he does a nice job with them in the offseason. I talked to him, I said, what do you do? How do you get these kids so good? And he says, in the offseason, I just let them play. They come in, it's open gym, they can come in, they can play. I don't force them to do a lot of drills or a lot of things that they're going to hate. They just come in and play. So he makes it fun for them. And so I think that's part of the reason that he's able to get so much interest in the program. It's also part of the reason that they get so many touches on the ball. And volleyball is so much about touch. So much of it is just about the feel for the ball.
You know what's fun? Winning. Lobos 26-3 now.
It is.
That's an awful lot of fun.
Snowflake is obviously one of the top teams in the conference. You look at some of the private schools that are up ahead of them in the rankings, and they've got some tough matches when we get into the playoffs. But really, Snowflake is a team that I think could play with just about anybody in the state. And you look at what they've been able to accomplish year after year. Coach Ramage always in the mix with things. Last year they had a state championship game to finish. They end up runners-up, state runners-up last year, and just so often they find themselves in those championship rounds of the state playoffs. And it's just a credit to his program and a credit to these girls here at Snowflake. And you notice this year they don't have as many athletes as they sometimes do. And quite frankly, there's a lot of times where they don't have those athletes. And we've got a traffic jam behind us. They don't have those athletes, but Coach Ramage does a nice job of just utilizing what he has and putting together a system that will work with the players that he has. And you see that this year.
Are we trying to get him on, or what's the?
Let's take a break. We'll try to get him and a player on, and we'll do our announcements of our sponsor announcements.
Snowflake wins it 3-1. This is Shola Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
All right, Snowflake wins it 3-1 as we're joined by senior Reagan Olson. You guys looked like you were totally in control over the first 2 sets. What kind of adjustment did you feel like Blue Ridge made, and then how did you counter?
On the third set?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we were I don't know. I don't want to say let down, but they played really good in the third set, and I feel like we didn't fight as hard.
You didn't fight
because we didn't expect it. Really. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, I think that's fair. Is it tough to stay when it looks like you're cruising like that? Is it tough to really stay that intense for the whole three?
For sure. Yeah.
So, let's talk a little bit about your leaping ability. Have you ever had your vertical measured?
Yeah, I have actually.
Can you tell us?
If I can remember, I think with an approach is a 33.
Is that right?
But just standing 29.
Only 29. All right, and you're legit 5'7".
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so what does that provide you? What kind of opportunity do you think that jumping ability provides you?
So much. It's honestly so nice. Yeah, I feel like I can do a lot more.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It seems like it really puts the defense in all sorts of trouble because they don't necessarily know which angle you're going to be coming with. You're so high up there, right? How did you train yourself to get that? Have you always been a gifted jumper?
Yeah, honestly, I've just been blessed.
Yeah? That's fair enough. How do you and Papa play with each other?
We play really good together, I'd say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there something about your styles that really just kind of mesh well?
I don't know. We both got pulled up at the same time, and I don't know. We've just kind of been really good friends, so that helps.
Well, congratulations on the big win. Now 26-3. Where are you setting your sights here? You're runner-up last year, so what's going to get you over the top? What's going to get you over the hump and a champion?
We just got to keep on going hard. A good mindset for sure.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
It's Reagan Olson.
Yeah.
She's going to be our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Player of the Game. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports south of Pine Top on Highway 260. Reagan Olson, our player of the game. And I think we're going to go ahead and get you off the hot seat. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
I think Coach Ramage might join us. Well, are we getting him on? Hop in, man.
Am I supposed to take this?
Yeah. Unless you want to share it.
It might be.
All right, Coach Ramage, after his team picks up the win, 3-1. Just asked Reagan the same thing, but it looked like your team was totally in control over the first 2 sets. What happened in that third?
Third set, I think we let up a little bit. Clearly we did, and our passing suffered a little bit. We passed too tight. And Blue Ridge is an amazing team. We know that. In fact, they're way underranked, in my opinion.
How tough is it to keep the kids really feeling the same intensity that they had when they go cruise into those first 2 sets?
It's tough because, you win 2 and usually a team will shut down. I kept telling them, I said, hey, if we win and we put them on their heels, I said, we'll have a chance. But we let them in the game. And so once we let them in the game, I was like, you know what? We play a little game. We try to battle. Every 5 points is like mini battles. And we lost every battle in that third set. We just never got it back. And you know what? And we tried to get some momentum. We did. We were down by 7. I think we got down within 5. I don't know, 5 or 6. But we were just trying to get there, and we weren't quite doing it. Girls realized Blue Ridge haven't beat us in a while, and I knew those girls wanted it. They played their hearts out on game 3, man.
What adjustments did you make into the fourth?
We just passed better. I said, you got to keep it off. Don't give Ellie anything, and and Amanda and also Smith girl. They were just amazing.
Talk just a little bit about the luxury that you have with Olsen and Papa on either side. It seems as if, especially toward the end of that fourth, they were really trying to take out Olsen, but it just opened it up for Papa.
Correct, exactly right. And anytime Papa got the ball, she owned him last time. They weren't expecting it. Reagan has a little more experience, and she can jump out of the gym, and Macy last time, she learned a tool. And so they made some adjustments there, but Papa is a smart little player. I always say she's young, too dumb to know that she should be scared, man. And she doesn't care, but she hates to lose. And so that's a quality you just want in a girl.
How do you feel like as the season's winding down, you're setting up here to try to, again, get over that hump, get the hardware back up here to the Snowflake?
You know what? It's tough. We got a lot of private schools that we got to contend with. I'll be honest. Blue Ridge is a top five team. They are. They just had a buzzsaw at the beginning of the season. They put them into where they're at. They're going to be, they'll get in the top 10 easy, but they should be a top 5 team. Clearly, they're just an amazing team. We've had their number a little bit, and luckily we did. I don't want to face them in the playoffs. No way do I want to face them in the playoffs.
All right. Well, I think the last question, the one that's on everybody's mind: who are you wearing?
No, we were trying to wear pink, so I love thrift stores. Found this down in Tucson, dude. $2. You gotta get it. I just love it.
You gotta
wear it.
I wondered if you were getting ready for Halloween early.
You know what?
Said, this is how you roll.
I wear my 70s suits. I love the hippie style, man. I just love the 70s, man. They knew how to wear it back then.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks, Palmer.
It's Coach Ramage talking about his 3-1 win. As we will start wrapping it up right after this, high school volleyball from Sholo Ford's presentation thereof on iTalk1067.com. Hey, thanks.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. You've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you got, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain sports.
Snowflake knocks off the Yellowjackets 3-1 as they go 25-20, 25-18. Blue Ridge picks up the win in the third, 25-18, but then the Lobos are able to ice 25-20. Already identified Reagan Olson as the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Player of the Game. Looking for a Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. I'm going to go into the fourth as the Yellowjackets, after having just cruised through the third and really got off to a strong start, where they're going to get a nice defensive effort from Marinda Caldwell, as she was able to get a dig at the toward the end of one there, about midway through, and it looked as if the Lobos really looking for somebody to try to give them a spark, as the Yellowjackets were really defending Olsen and Papa well. And as Caldwell was able to get a stop, that really kind of started to turn it around in the fourth to provide the Lobos the opportunity to stop all that Blue Ridge momentum and help them then turn the tide and get that 25-20 win in the fourth. So that will be our Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. And also looking for a glass-shattering hit of the game. I'm going to go with the sophomore, Macy Papa. Just heard Coach Ramage talk about how she is too young to know that she is not supposed to be what did he say? A little bit small for these situations, but she was able to rise up, and as the Yellowjackets were putting up a really good fight to try to prevent Snowflake from sending this one or ending this one in the fourth. Papa was approaching the net and came right after Paige Dillon and just ate her up with a little bit of a little unsuspected heat from Dillon, and that was going to go a long way to both us in this one and provide us with our Deemers Auto Glass shattering hit of the game. Need glass for your home business. Deemers Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemers Glass. Call 1-888-GLASS-MAN. Last call here at Snowflake as Lobos win it 3-1, getting it done with the fourth at a 25-20 count and run their record to 26-3. You just heard Coach Ramage compliment Blue Ridge as they now run the record to 15-12, but expecting them to make a big presence felt here in the playoffs as that begins shortly. But coming up at the short end here at Snowflake, as we thank you for joining us here. Thank you, everybody involved. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school volleyball on iTalk1067.com. Good night.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and SholoFord.com.
This is an iTalk 1067 sports exclusive. Local sports are on iTalk 1067 and online at iTalk1067.com. Presented by Sholo Ford. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, Deemers Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Little Bluebird Studios. And now, local sports on iTalk 1067 and iTalk1067.com. Presented by Sholo Ford.